This is a tale of two cities, both called Shanghai, divided by a river called the Huangpu, a tributary of the great Chang or Yangtze, and united by a zeal for modernization and economic growth. Across the river lies the old city, behind those colonial buildings on the waterfront called the Bund. Beyond the Bund, the old city is being demolished to make way for the glass towers that symbolize the new economic age. But the greatest action is in the foreground, on this side of the river, in a development zone called Pudong. Here, if planners have their way, will rise a cluster of businesses that will outstrip even Hong Kong. The name Pudong will be synonymous with economic might. The first skyscrapers already stand prepared. Billboards everywhere proclaim the coming of the new Shanghai. On this one, looking downstream, note that the old Shanghai on the left bank of the Huangpu has barely any urban relief. All the action is on the right bank in Pudong. And all this is not just promises. Pudong already is one vast construction zone. Huge buildings of every description are arising, where just a year ago lay traditional housing, farmsteads, and fields. Look back at Pudong from the Bund, and the skyline drawn on that billboard already is taking shape. East Asia's tallest building, the futuristic Shanghai Tower, was completed in 1995. At its base, it looks like a spaceship on its launch pad. It dramatically symbolizes what Shanghai's planners believe, that Pudong will become the economic giant of Asia's Pacific Rim, and with it, the city of Shanghai. Shanghai, as well as other cities along Asia's Pacific Rim, this kind of architecture, the old traditional kind, is changing to this, because room must be made for modern development. So the pleasant promenade in front of the buildings of the Bund, where the people enjoy views of the river and families relax and play, is just a facade. Look closely, because this may be all that will be left of Shanghai's historic architecture, the tangible evidence of its colonial past. This, nearly a century ago, was China's most impressive skyline, a row of ponderous Victorian heavyweights that embodied British power here. But go behind the Bund, into the warren of streets and lanes that was traditional Shanghai, and be prepared to be shocked. Some areas continue to function as they have for many decades, but even there, skyscrapers of the new era cast their shadows. Meanwhile, the bulldozers are demolishing buildings such as this, with their graceful roof lines and ornate balconies. Elsewhere, the process already has taken its toll, and the traditional neighborhood is no more. Much of old Shanghai now looks like this, a vast pile of rubble awaiting removal. At least the wreckers are indiscriminate. Whether a relic of the German or French presence here or a Chinese residence, all of it must make way for modernization. Shanghai has turned its back on the past. For all the changes that have come to old Shanghai, and the forest of glass and concrete skyscrapers that can be seen to form a backdrop to the Bund, it is the Pudong side of the river that will drive the city's economic engine in the 21st century. Before long, Shanghai's space-age tower will rise above a skyline second to none on the Pacific Rim, a symbol of China's future as a world economic power.